Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Four Horsemen Studios Mythic Legions Legacies of Mythoss Scaphoid 2 Standard Edition. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here on the top says Scaphoid and the Four Horsemen logo and maybe like some volcano and lava and stuff going on there. Flip around to the front and you know that lava theme carries on to the front. Nice big window showcasing the figure and accessory. And I know it's hard to see through all the glare there, but it's there. Mythic Legions, Legacies of Mythoss, Scaphoid. And even though this is Scaphoid 2, it just says Scaphoid. So on the bottom, we've got small print, fine print, legalese print, URLs, a barcode, a Four Horsemen skull, adult collectible 15 and up, made in China print, the item number, warning, don't stick things in your pie hole. If they don't belong there, don't give it to babies, and some more small print. And on this side, Four Horsemen. And then it's got the Necronominus logo there. It says the Congregation of Necronominus. And then on this side, Mythic Legions Legacies of Mythoss. And then there's a nice product shot there, probably by 1/6 shooter. And then there's the URLs again. And then here on the back, we've got the other Legacies of Mythoss figures, which these two, my pre-orders haven't come in yet. And then that one's coming a little bit later. I've got him in hand. And then here's the artwork for Scaphoid. And then there's his story. If you want to pause it right here and read that, you're perfectly welcome to do so. And then here's some small fine print here that if you want to pause it and read that, you can. And then, you know, volcanoes and stuff going on just all over the packaging. Very cool. That, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at some of these smaller bits and bobs. First up, we'll start with his extra hands. And they're all gloved hands. And they have nice molded detail in them. And I think a little bit of a wash in there. And this is on an in and out hinge. And then here's the matching set to that. Again, it's on an in and out hinge. Nice molded details and a bit of a wash to kind of help the details stand out. Also, these rivet pieces. And then I think I got stuff packed wrong in mine because I got two of these hands. At least I can, as far as I can tell, they're the same. But it's, you know, kind of the more splayed out hands. Same, you know, details and wash and paint and all that. And it's on an in and out hinge. And then this one is the same. Not even the opposite side. I think it's supposed to be. So I may have to contact Four Horsemen customer service to Get that straightened out. So here we have a bird skull in Scaphoid's color. And nice molded details. It is a piece we've seen before. Where'd it go? There it is. It is a piece we've seen before. It's got this little L-shaped clip on it where it clips on belts. But it does have nice molded details. It does have a nice wash to it. And this nice paint color as well. Well, I say nice. It's bright. And then to go with that, here are some bones tied with a leather wrap. Same colors, same wash, and you know, does have a good bit of molded detail in it as well. And then here we also have the potions that clip on the belt, and all three of those pieces we have seen before. The bird skull, the bones, and this. Now the colors may be a bit different, and this kind of some translucent plastic with some color injected into it, so it looks like it's got liquids in it. There you can see the clip on the back of it, so that's a nice looking piece. And then here's a piece that we've kind of seen before, at least outwardly it would appear we've seen it before, and I still don't know if it's for certain kind of wings or if it is for extra arms, or I still don't know what it is. But what makes this one different is usually it's a big long rectangular post, and the post on it now is square. So next up we have a magic effect that fits around the wrist, and it does have some decoration along the rim there. And it's made out of a semi-translucent plastic molded in the Scaphoid color, which to me looks yellow, but it might be green. I don't know. I'm colorblind. Don't make fun of handicapped people. All I know is he looks like a nasty skeleton. Alright, next up we have this translucent, like magic skull that he can cast. Woo! And I have to say, you know, it's got some nice skull details in there, and the translucent plastic, you know, is neat looking. And it's got a little bit of something there on it. Paint chip or something. Don't need it. So, very cool piece. Next up, we have his staff, which we've seen this staff before, maybe not in this color, but it's got a nice little globe type jewel on the end of it that's made of a translucent plastic. We've got some gold in here. We've got, oh, I was going to say brown. It's not really brown. It's kind of a, I don't know. And it's got gold flecks all through it. Almost like it's a gold wash. You can see it gets a little bit heavier down here toward the bottom maybe. And then we've got this. So very nice looking staff. And, you know, it's a little taller than he is. Alright, as far as weapons, he comes with this like small mace type. And we've seen this before. Not in this color though. You can see it's kind of got his coloration fading. It starts out, it's not quite, yeah, it's a little bit darker than he is, but it's heavier here, and then it kind of fades out into a silver here. So I'm assuming that's supposed to be some kind of magical effect for it, where it's glowing. So that's cool. And then we've got the silver, and we've got the gold, and the post here is the same as the post on the staff, where it's kind of got that gold mixed in with it, or it's a dry brush with gold. I said wash before, but probably more of a dry brush, and then down to the silver. At the bottom, he also comes with a dagger. Got some nice purple on here and some gold at the top and the bottom, no clip on it. And then the knife does remove, or the dagger does remove, and you can see, just like the mace, it's got this like magical color, or magic's color, whatever you want to call it, like it's magically lit up on the end of the blade, and then it fades off into a nice silver, and then gold for the handguard and pommel. So it's most likely molded in this color, I would think. And we'll just stick that back in there. And next up, he's got the shoulder armors. And again, now this looks like a dry brush of a gold, like, but they did it all over. So I'm guessing like the darker color you can see in there is what it's molded in, and then they just dry brush the hell out of it. Very nice. And now I will say, like, these edges or ridges or whatever you want to call them here, they look like they are actually painted along with the rivets, and then they just after that went crazy with the dry brushing, and it's pretty much the same on this side, or for this piece it's just the opposite side. So there's that. And then lastly, for accessories, we have the extra head, which is the non-carved skull, I guess you could say, but cool looking nonetheless. Look at all that detail. I mean, this is a skull we've seen before, but just not in this color. Well, I'm sure like the original Scaphoid, you know, but he didn't have this same exact skull, I don't think, because this one is one with the movable jaw. So pretty nice. Nice dry brush or wash. Actually, this is probably more of a wash, because it gets in those crevices and stuff, and it really helps details stand out. Gives it kind of a dirty look too, doesn't it? Like he's been playing in the mud or something. I don't know. Alrighty, there I go bumping the camera. So let's take a look at the figure himself, and we'll start with the skull. And you can see, like, the other skull is plain. This one has all kinds of symbols and stuff etched into it, and again, that same color and the same wash going on to get down in all those cracks and crevices. Even got some down in the eyes. Could use a little more black down in there, I would think, but you know, the shadows help a bit. So he's got this neck piece that we've seen before. The skeleton pieces we've seen before. And it's an armor piece up under the soft goods there, which I'm not going to take it off, but it probably matches up with this. He's got this belt here that's, you know, he can put something in there, I guess, because it's got that kind of strap. And he's got these nice belts here. This is one, and then this is one, and it's got this piece on it, which is also a piece under here. And they're nicely textured and painted and dry brushed or washed, I can't tell. And then this piece as well as part of this belt. We've got some pops of gold there for the rivets on the belt and the buckles and, you know, all that good stuff. These soft goods on the lower part are wired, so that's great for posability. You can see he's got just bare skeleton legs, which is fine because, you know, he's a skeleton. And then This lower piece is a bit different because it's made to take the boots, and the boots and the gloves and stuff are the same colors, and they have the same kind of wash in it and the same textural details. So really, really cool. Well, let's talk about his articulation real quick. So he can look up that high, so that's really a lot. He can look down that low, which is a pretty good bit too. And then it's just on a standard ball, so there's no chicken neck. He does have a good bit of waggle there though, and no attitude, but he can do the full exorcist and articulated jaw on this hit as well, which doesn't always like to close all the way, by the way, so I'll have to fix that later. At the shoulder, 360 degrees worth of rotation. He can raise it up that high, which is better than 90 degrees, so that's good. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow, swivels around 360 degrees. And gives you right around excuse me, right around 90 degrees worth of bend. Then at the glove piece it twists, because that's a separate piece. The wrist, it twists, and it is on up and down hinges, and the other side is up and down hinges as well. Ball joint at the waist, or half dumbbell, whatever you want to call it, gives him plenty of hula. 360 degrees of rotation, makes some of the soft goods come out of place. Just something you have to deal with when you got these soft goods going on, but at least it's two separate pieces and doesn't hinder his articulation any. At the hips, he gives you the full splits, maybe plus. And he will kick forward that far, which is a little better than 90 degrees. Back that far, which is probably a little less than 90 degrees. Then single hinge, and it's a pinned hinge. Gives you 360 degrees of rotation at the swivel. And then at the knee itself, a good bit better than 90 degrees. At the top of the boot, there's a boot cut for 360 degrees of rotation. At the ankle, where it plugs into the foot, there is, come on you, 360 degrees worth of rotation, and the ankle tilts down that far. It tilts up that far, which is pretty darn good. And then it does have a pin for rocker. Now, I'm sure y'all don't want to watch me struggle putting all his gear on him, so we'll be back momentarily. And here, my friends, we have Scaphoid all decked out. He's got some bones on there. He's got his potions back here. He's got his dagger right here handy, a magical effect going on. Ooh, and it will spin on there. And then his mace back here on his back strap. And of course his magical staff right here in his hand. And there you have it, my friends. Oh, look at the figure, his accessories, and some storage. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions, Legends of Mythoss, Scaphoid 2, with the Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions, Thrasus, the First Risen, and the Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions, Arazak. Here we have Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions, Legacies of Mythoss, Scaphoid 2, with the Harbinger Studios, Savage Crucible, Nazhorn the Disinherited, Boss Fight Studios, Epic Hacks, Red Sonja, X-Ray Studios, Combatants Fight for Glory, Gold Hilder, and Mattel's Masters of the Universe Chronicles, Inaugural Edition, Scare Glow. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions, Legacies of Mythoss, Scaphoid 2, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Four Horsemen Studios, Mythic Legions, Legacies of Mythoss, Scaphoid 2, I have to say, the look of this guy is really what drew me to him. You know, magically glowing skeleton with magical stuff, and you know, I'm so glad with, you know, his backstory of being a skeleton wizard, that with the second edition of him they actually made him that, whereas the first one, at least the pictures I've seen, you know, other than his coloration, there wasn't, you know, no magical paraphernalia or anything like that. I think he had a sword and a shield, maybe. So basically he was a skeleton knight who was colored magically. But now they fixed that. He's a full-on skeleton sorcerer now. He's got the wizarding paraphernalia, magic effects, weapons as well, to, I guess, harken back to his origins, not in lore, but rather in toy form, and armored up and stuff too. The soft goods are removable. There's armor up underneath the top soft goods, so you could, you know, I guess put him in that original form if you wanted to, and use the plain skull. So that's a thing. For me, this is probably how he's going on the shelf with all his regalia. At least as much of it as I could fit on him. There's, as far as the negatives go on this one, I really would have liked to have seen, like, the head of the mace does come off and the head of the staff comes off, and I would have liked to have seen the head of the staff be able to fit the shaft of the mace, and, you know, him have a shorter one instead of like a staff, you know, like a shorter one that is a weapon and his magical piece. But alas, they will not interchange that way. The post on the mace is a little too big. So there is that. There is a bit of paint flaking, especially from the hips on this, but that's kind of to be expected on anything that's painted up like this, especially when they put paint over the joints. The shoulders probably did flake a bit too, but I noticed it really bad in the hips. Excuse me. Now, as far as something I really would have liked to have seen them done with this, and I know we've probably seen that skeleton magical effect before, the skull magical effect before, but I would have really liked to have seen them modify it so it could be shooting out of his mouth. I think that would have been really, really cool for this guy. And then, I almost forgot, I got two of the same hands, like the hand that's throwing out the magical skull there. There's two of those, exactly the same. So I'll see what Four Horsemen customer service is willing to do about that. Maybe something, maybe nothing. I don't know. I'll have to go back in and look at the pictures and see if that's, how it's supposed to be, which I don't think it is. And, just a packaging mistake. And like I said, maybe they'll fix it. Maybe they won't. I don't know yet. But overall, I have to say, I like this guy. Skeleton, warrior, magician. These guys are kind of horrifying in their own way. And that's what I like about them. It makes them look really, really evil. Their skulls. And like Skeletor. And now that I think about it, there might be a little more to that comparison with this guy than I thought. But that might be another video. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.